Nutrition. This is Rhonda Kitchens, your librarian. I hope you'll take the time to reach out to me if you need me. If this doesn't make sense to you, you can't find the right keywords for your research, you can't find the full text, I'm the person for you to reach out to. I want to make sure first you know how to get to the library. I'm at bigbend.edu. I'm going to academics. I'm selecting library, and here I am. I'm going to talk to you first about scholarly articles to make sure you understand what they look like. And for these assignments, you can't use a literature review, so we're going to kind of avoid those. Now, when we're looking at a scholarly article, it's actually going to have preset sections, and those do change from publication to publication, but some of these are the standard. Usually you'll have a title that uses professional terms, jargon, and situations that aren't common. Authors, usually multiple, and you'll be able to see who they're connected to, so it shows their authority. You'll have an abstract, but be careful with the abstract. Sometimes it doesn't go through the peer review process with the rest of the paper. So if you've ever looked at an abstract and then an article and thought these do not match, that is why. So make sure you actually read the full text of the article, because the abstract may not tell you exactly what happened. It's going to have a literature review. This is going to be a highly readable section, but it's composed of other people's work, not the authors. It just talks about what they read to get to this point. The meat of the research begins around the method section, the background, the purpose, and the significance of the research. It tells you what they're doing and how they're doing it, who they included, who they excluded, protocols, ethical considerations, and other things important to the research. They will also show you their findings in great detail. You will find additionally that there should be a conclusion. Sometimes preceding that conclusion is limitations where they tell you like, oh, this didn't quite go right. And it will be followed by references. So if we look at our example paper here, you will see, let's go up here, we see a title, and it does have a kind of jargon that's not well known outside of this particular area, called the bedside handoff. It's a very specific process for people in medicine. We have a literature review. Again, those are people that they've read, but this is where the meat begins to happen, the background, what type of facility, place, or otherwise that this is happening, the significance, method, quantitative, qualitative, and all the things that fall under those pieces. They're going to tell you about their findings, show you charts and graphs, limitations, how things didn't really work out. This case, it looks like they wanted to do a certain type of quantitative research and it sort of fell apart and they went to another, and they have the conclusion about how this particular item went. And if you go to this page, and I'll link you to it, you'll see I have little explanations on the left hand side and also under the stars, so you can understand what they mean. So when you're doing your research, this is the big thing you need to understand. A database can find a scholarly journal, scholarly or peer-reviewed journal, but it cannot tell you the article is scholarly or peer-reviewed. So sometimes you might have a letter to the editor or other things that look like they might work, but they're not going to work for this assignment. So I want to make sure that you understand what those look like. Now I'm going to go into databases A to Z. Currently, the library has 123 databases. If you want to understand what they have in them, you can mouse over the eyes. If you do a database title search, to some degree, you can also do some of these words, and it'll tell you if they're just not really very specific. But one of the best ways is go to the subjects, and you can see here there's 28 different databases that may help you with health. I'm just going to talk to you about two. I'm going to talk to you about ProQuest and General Science Full Text. The reason is they're two very different databases, and if you understand those, you'll understand most of the others as well. ProQuest is wonderful. This particular one is cross-disciplinary, so it covers all sorts of different things. I usually like starting with an advanced search. So here I am with one I tried. Here, I'm going to break it down. I want to talk about nutrition. Nutrition has a lot of different suffixes that change, but these things may also be important to your research. So I like to use a search trick I call, well, it is called truncation. And what you do is find the most common place before the suffixes begin. So here I'll put nutrit, and I'll put this, and this is going to expand my research so that I get things that are nutritionist, nutritional, and other variations. Also present in this database is the ability to seamlessly do Boolean search, and or not. And means if I'm looking for nutrition in peanut butter, I'll get articles that are on both, just that little subset if you picture a little Venn diagram. If I do what or is really best for a string of synonyms. Suppose you have something that's similar in concept, different ways of saying health or different ways of saying something you're researching, and you want to string them all together and search for them at the same time, use an or. Now suppose your research is coming up with some very sad things you just want to remove from it, use not. So if you want to go nutrition, not vitamin C, whatever it is, you can get rid of this. I am just going to keep it with and I'm going to add a row. I already know I'm going to need to add a row. First of all, I want to make sure it's human subjects that we're working with, because this is a cross-disciplinary database and it's using human and non-human subjects. And then I might want to work on a topic that I'm working on, like nutrition and diabetics or diabetes, but you see what that too has an issue with having diabetes. So I'm just going to put this, the truncation mark, so I get them all. I want to make sure that they're full text and I want them to be peer reviewed. In this case, I want to have them the last 3 years. So this is set for my success in searching. So if you set up your search in a similar way, this should work out pretty well for you. You want it to mirror what your assignment requires. Your assignment may allow the past 5 years, so you can put that in. But this also, if you've been asked a search question, you could pull out some keywords and put together your search right here, and then go right into finding out what matches those terms. Now, if you forgot some of the pieces, you can still save yourself here and select full text and peer reviewed, because it's not uncommon. Like, what is this? Why is there no full text? Go right over here to make sure that you ask for it. This is talking about milk. This is over 5 pages, it looks like. It has a PDF. It's cited by 4. I'm going to look at the next piece. Wealth of knowledge. It's about an online training course. I'm not sure where diabetes comes in. It's more than 5 pages. It has multiple authors. It was published in 2019, so it fits some things, but it doesn't particularly fit my what I'm working on. So I'll keep going through this list to find something that looks kind of correct. Okay, this has more than 5 pages. It has multiple authors. It's in pediatric nephrology, and it has a PDF and 91 references. This absolutely is going to be a scholarly article. This has multiple authors, more than 5 pages, a journal of clinical investigation. This looks like it might have something to do with diabetes, but it's about mice. I'm going to take a look at it anyway. I'm going to go here. I will click on the title. Now your options here, sometimes you have HTML to read. Let me kind of move this over. Or a PDF. Ideally, you're going to read the PDF. The PDF is actual image of what happened in the original journal. You'll see this has just words and things like that. Let's look at the PDF. The PDF often shows tables and other things, and it kind of clearly delineates the pieces so you can understand them better. This is going to have a double I say button to bring things down. You'll see the introduction, the results, and all these types of pieces are very clearly made to you. If you read the HTML, you wouldn't understand some of the tables and what they meant, some of the images. So especially when you're doing medical research, go for that PDF. And this is a research article because we see all the pieces, we see the methods, the results, we see their math, we see the transparency, we see that we can actually talk to the people about this. This actually has a place where you can send the correspondence as well as some of their email addresses and the references. So we know this is very strongly a research article. And if you move over here, ProQuest is really good about giving you other places like related items. So If you have an option, go to the PDF first to get the most information visible to you for your viewing pleasure as it appeared in the original journal. So I hope this particular one makes sense, and I'm going to go back now to the library webpage and take you into a different database. This is a EBSCO database. It's called General Science, full text. So very similarly, this will be the advanced search. I'm going to put in nutrition, and I'm going to stop it here and put my asterisk. I'm going to go human, because I want human subjects, and I'm going to type in diabetes, and I'm going to put an asterisk here to get all the diabetes type things. I'm going to make sure I ask for full text, and I'm going to wait to the next page to change my years. It's a little bit easier on the next page, but you can see you have all that opportunity there. I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see the left-hand side. And I'm going to go down. Again, if you forgot it, you can click it here. Apparently I did not select that. If you want to only search for the PDF full text, if you need to be able to view what happened, you can also do that here. I only want the past 5 years. Make sure you look at your rubric again to see how many years back it should be. While I'm here, I can also on this left-hand side look at the subjects so that I might add different ones, but these are actually articles on those topics. I'm going to go back up here, and this talks about diabetes prevention in youth and nutrition. This might be awesome. Let me look at it. It has more than 5 pages. In fact, it has 6. It has multiple authors. It has a digital object identifier, which lets me know that it pretty much may be, and I see these pieces, this is pretty much definitely a scholarly article. So I'm going to go into it. You'll see it's a little bit different than ProQuest because it gives you the abstract and everything up front. But here it has the abstract. Sometimes it will have some keywords. Often these are very interesting. You can copy and paste some of these and go back up into your search and add them to improve it. This is going to be the PDF full text that we just saw in ProQuest as well. You'll be able to look at it and determine, is this a scholarly article? We have a title with professional terms, multiple authors. We have an abstract. We have keywords that they've given us in case we want to do other work. We have an introduction, which is their literature review, methods, program development. We have some of the work and ideas they did. They just talk about their population, the people they included, the results, discussion, limitations is really long, so pay attention, and conclusions in the reference. This is a scholarly article. It is in its original PDF, so it is something that you could definitely use for your projects for your nutrition class. I left this off in ProQuest, but they're kind of the same. Both ProQuest and EBSCO have a Cite button. If you use the Cite button, it's going to take you to a page where you need to make the following decisions. Make sure you look at your rubrics or your assignment to see what you're using to cite in. If it's APA, copy and correct it. It's usually very close, but you see in this case they left in the author's email addresses. You won't need that in APA, so you'll need to clean that up a little bit. If you go to the Online Writing Center, you'll find a whole page of APA papers that would be very awesome for you. And I'm probably going to put that package together for you. And further, if you're using MLA, you'll have one that you can copy and copy and correct, because this isn't wrong. There's usually something wrong with these citations. It's capitalization, usually something's italicized, and the best it can do is bring in information, and it won't be able to fix that piece up for you. So I hope this was very helpful for you. I showed you what an academic scholarly article looked like. I showed you some Boolean search and or not. I showed you a little truncation. This is a really great search trick. I showed you ProQuest, and I also showed you General Science Full Text, which is an EBSCO database. I'll let you know about the citations that are available to you, but copy and correct them. But this is the final thing I want to make sure you're aware of. I'm going to take you back to the library page for this. Hopefully you're seeing this. You may kind of know where this is. But on the library guides, I have class guides for the classes, and you will have a section here, which I haven't added, that says Nutrition 101 that you can go to. Now suppose you couldn't find it. We do this. I can find your page, and this video is going to take up the middle part, but I have recommended databases and general databases with academic content. Both should be very helpful for you. I'm going to put in the research tips, the CRAP test, currency, relevancy, accuracy, authority, and purpose, but your class itself may already kind of take care of this, and making sure that you find the best possible resources. And if you have any questions, always come over here to the right hand side. I'll just move these to Ask a Librarian. This will get you 24/7, and I'm right here, Rhonda Kitchens, librarian, and this is my email, and you can absolutely reach out to me. If this did not make sense to you, I'll be glad to do a personal Zoom session or anything you need, because I want you to be successful. Thank you.